Hey guys, Ruminating Reaper here. So I've just got done watching Fight or Flight on Now TV. This marks the directorial debut of James Madigan, who had previously done second unit work on films such as Transformers: Rise of the Beasts and Snake Eyes: G.I. Joe Origins. This also notably shares a few producers that worked on the John Wick franchise, so with that action movie pedigree involved, this looked to be right up my street. I was hopeful that this would deliver, a solid 90 or so minutes of just, switch your brain off, dumb fun action set aboard a plane. A fairly simple task that shouldn't be too difficult to deliver on. But does it actually deliver dumb fun action movie thrills? Let's find out. So the film follows Lucas Reyes, a washed-up alcoholic mercenary living in Bangkok, who is given a simple assignment to board a plane headed for San Francisco and bring a high-profile target known as the Ghost into custody in the United States, and in return, he'll become a free man. However, unbeknownst to him, the plane is full of contract killers who have been hired to kill the Ghost. And so he finds himself reluctantly teaming up with his target, as everybody on the plane is also after his head. So, look, I know what you're thinking. You're taking a look at this initial premise. You're probably thinking to yourself that this just sounds like a poor man's version of Bullet Train, but obviously swapping out a high-speed train with a luxury commercial airliner. And yeah, you would be right in thinking that, but in saying that, once you get past how derivative that initial setup is, there is plenty of fun to be had, as this delivers a very entertaining bit of dumb fun action that, knows exactly what it is trying to be and doesn't exactly aspire to do much more than that. And honestly, I was kind of won over by it. Now, admittedly, the early stretches had me kind of worried, because the dialogue, yeah, was pretty rough. A lot of it being sort of sub-Deadpool banter, where everything is a zany quip that is punctuated by the word fuck. But honestly, once Reyes actually gets to the airport and his mission becomes clear, the film settles into a much more enjoyable flow that, actually, I gotta admit, the film got a few chuckles out of me, with some pretty funny moments, whether it be a bit during an action scene involving the Dell startup, or repeated references to Sully Sullenberg, or even a late film bit in which Reyes is off his face, imagining the carnage going on in front of him as some kind of like Technicolor trip. It, you know, it's a film that doesn't exactly take itself too seriously, so it's fairly easy to get on board with it as a sort of tongue-in-cheek bit of B-movie action schlock. And yeah, if that's what you're going and expecting, you'll be reasonably satisfied. Now, it helps that the film absolutely does deliver on the action. Madigan makes great use of his experience as a second unit director to, deliver some very entertainingly staged action scenes, whether it be an early moment in which Reyes is drugged and has to fight a assassin in a bathroom, or whether it be a fight scene with some triad guys, or even a late film kill spree with a chainsaw. It's all very, very entertainingly done, with solid, kinetic, fluid choreography that does have a sense of impact, although some of that is kind of minimized by the fakest looking digital blood you'll ever see, a limitation of the film's seemingly small budget. But also notably, this is shot by Matt Flannery, who is the go-to director of photography for Gareth Evans. He's worked with him on the Raid movies and will be teaming with him later this year, in fact, next month, for the Netflix movie Havoc, which I am really looking forward to. And so definitely that experience really shows through in how well captured the action is. All of it is very, very fun, and these are easily when the film is at its best. But it helps that, we do have a very, very committed leading man, really selling the fun of it all in Josh Hartnett. He does a great job really selling Reyes's, complete paranoid lunacy, but also has that sort of hint of tragedy, as, he also deep down has a conscience, which initially got him chucked out of his initial line of work and has made him a target ever since. He is having a wheel of a time, channeling that sort of psychotic energy he brought to his role as the Butcher in M. Night Shyamalan's Trap last year. Yeah, he is great. Especially when the film sort of shifts into an odd couple story of sorts, as he's, reluctantly teamed up with his target, the Ghost, as they sort of reluctantly find themselves actually getting kind of, invested in each other, because they are stuck together for better and for worse. And that dynamic is pretty entertaining and very likable, and actually does serve to deliver some pretty strong character development for both sides. Now, admittedly, yes, story-wise, as I mentioned, it's fairly derivative and gets pretty ludicrous, especially towards the end of the film. But honestly, again, it doesn't matter too much because the film is having this much fun and is, this sort of silly, although the plot being revolving around a, sort of generic MacGuffin that all parties are after, that can hack into any top level, cybersecurity instantly, was definitely kind of generic. It definitely felt like a placeholder plot device to sort of be changed to something much more interesting at a later draft. But alas, it is what it is, I guess. But again, it's easy to look past how basic that plot is, though, because again, it is very tongue in cheek, doesn't take itself seriously, and delivers enough sort of bonkers gonzo action set aboard a plane, which again, making great use of the spatial geography, that you'd be sort of just willing to go along with it. Although, in saying that, I find it ended maybe kind of abruptly, although possibly because they may well be leaving it open for a sequel, which honestly I'd be kinda down for. Just for more of Reyes's, paranoid antics. Overall, Fight or Flight is the type of movie that does exactly what it says on the tin. It promises sort of dumb fun, tongue-in-cheek B-movie action thrills, and it absolutely does deliver on that. It's enough to, that you can absolutely look past. It's pretty derivative and sort of ludicrous setup, and it's well worth it just for Josh Hartnett's committed leading turn. Out of 10, Fight or Flight gets a 7. So yeah, let me know down in the comments. Have you seen Fight or Flight? What did you think of it? What did you make of the action? What did you make of Hartnett's performance? And based on the ending, would you like to see a sequel? Let me know all that down in the comments. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're new. And don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload.